do what I do.
You know, as they face cuts, it's worth asking why black men should be expected to rally for systems that never included us in the first place. Shout out to my man Big Boss Real Talk. Trump train took the gravy train away. Sure did. But look, but real talk though. This moment it needs to serve as an opportunity for reflection, not just on programs that are being lost, but on the need for more inclusive approach that uplifts the entire community, not just one segment of it. How you just uplift, but see, here's the thing, and let me go ahead and get down to the nitty gritty. See, the problem is Trump is not the type of white man that you can cozy up to. Let me talk to you guys about a concept called proximity to whiteness. Proximity to whiteness. It served as a tool of division within the black community during slavery. You had house slaves, more likely than not women, and they were granted closer physical and social proximity to the enslaver than the field slaves. Okay? This proximity came with perceived privileges, better food, easier workloads, and sometimes they got education and skill trainings. But see, these privileges were contingent upon loyalty and subservience to the enslaver. Now, what happened post-emancipation? Black women were often employed as domestic workers in white households. Shout out to my man Dusty, Dwayne Hot Milk. Dusty up! But again, they let the black woman work in the house. She worked as a white woman's domestic. And that allowed her to observe and sometimes participate in the daily lives of white folks. And while this work was grueling, it also gave black women a unique perspective on whiteness and access to the resources of their employers. Here, go ahead and take this old, Annabelle, go ahead and take this old dress home. You can have that. Here's some extra food off the table. Here's some butter biscuits for you. Take them home to your pickaninnies. You understand? Now, what happened? Shout out to my man, Urban Therapist Connection Podcast. Hey, frat, winter is here. Winter is here. It's ice cold, baby. It's the Blizzard King's time. But let's move on. So we talked about post-emancipation, the civil rights era. During the civil rights movement, black women played a crucial role, but their proximity to whiteness continued to shape their opportunities. Programs targeting women of color in the post-civil rights era, that placed black women closer in alignment with these white liberal agendas. And it created a sense of distinction from black men who faced harsher systematic inclusion. Come on over here, black woman. That black man is oppressing you. Let you sit up in there in the big house in the nice building and those government jobs with that AC. And then they gave you affirmative action, all these government set-asides, especially in the 1970s, that provided black women with access to scholarships, grants, and professional opportunities, and that weren't available to black men, right? And that put them closer to these white institutions. And this access created a perceived elevation above black men, who we were often excluded from the same opportunity just because we were men. And it was systematic, meaning you're a man, you can't come. You're a black man, you can't come. You see? So that led to a lot of mass incarceration and unemployment. You don't educate us, you don't give us a job, our women make more money than us. What are we good for other than, impregnating them? And then you got a whole bunch of deadbeat daddy. Well, how am I supposed to do anything? There's no opportunities. I can't get a factory job. The factory job's been sent to Mexico and China. So for black women, the proximity to whiteness has meant more than access to resources. It's offered a way to escape the harsh realities of the systematic oppression and struggles within the black community. So they think they're different than us. You see? Because they get treated different than us. And so for some black women, this proximity has enabled them to adopt roles in corporate America, government jobs, and academia, where they could build a sense of individual identity apart from the collective struggle of black people in general. And this access has also allowed them to exit, or should I say exist in spaces where they could distance themselves from the stereotypes and align themselves with Becky and Anna Mae, you understand, and Heather, their white colleagues, while implicitly contrasting themselves with the struggles of black men. Listen to me. What does this mean in practice? Okay? Professional distance from the black community, working in predominantly white spaces, allowed many black women to feel shielded from the economic and social struggles that plague the black community in general, black men in specific. In these spaces, they could position themselves as exceptional, as individuals who made it. Somebody type made it in the chat room. You see, the other thing is social capital and validation. Proximity to whiteness provided black women with access to validation from white authority figures. That white man, Bob likes it. That's why she'll listen to her white boss and won't listen to your black behind when you tell her to go in there and make you some dinner. No, but when Brad and Tom and Bob tells her to do it, she jumps to it. You see, because she sees him the authority figure, right? And this is a form of power that many black men weren't even denied. We were denied that. You see. The other thing is this validation reinforced feelings of individual success. I made it on my own. You see? And it tied to a narrative of surpassing black men who were seen as less capable of navigating these white spaces. You understand? And also what came along with that is the false promise of inclusion. What I mean by that is this proximity, you need to understand, was always conditional. And as long as black women served the needs of these white institutions, whether through diversity initiatives or grant-dependent organizations like STEM programs or government jobs, they were allowed to remain there. They could stay, you see? But the moment these systems are right now where we at, they're facing restructuring, right? As they are now under this Trump's administration, black women are going to find themselves cast out. Now, this loss of proximity to whiteness is more than just economic. We talked about the economic stuff, but if we would talk about logic, I could say, well, baby, just go form an LLC and take the skill set you know and let's go get a job. But see, it's not about the economics. It's not just about the economics. See, this is deeply emotional and psychological. See, for those who spent years or decades building careers and identities and lives within this framework of these white institutions, this loss feels like a betrayal by a system that they believe they were part of. You see? All right. Shout out to my man, Devin Mitchell. They felt they were part of that. They was Massa, our house is on fire. You see how all those white liberals ran back to Donald Trump? They going down there to Mar-a-Lago kissing the ring. Black folks here, you think Roland Martin could take his big old round self down there and sit up in Donald Trump's house? Hell no. You understand? But Joe Scarborough can do it. Mika Brzezinski can do it. You see, Joy Reid can't do it. You see, in this loss, losing access to these spaces forces black women to reckon with the reality that their inclusion was never about equality. It was about utility. They served the purpose. And when they no longer were deemed useful, they're discarded, leaving them to confront their place within a system they thought they had transcended. You understand me? They thought they had the magic key. And then and Donald Trump said, get on back in that slave quarters, N-word. That's what he did. And so you got many black women who relied on this proximity to whiteness for their own, to escape the feelings of oppression of the black community. And now they find themselves forced to return to the same old community. They got to come back to Blackistan, baby. And guess who's rating there for them? Tyrone. Somebody type, hey, big head in the chat room. Somebody type, big head is right there. Come on. And this return is especially difficult for those who had adapted to the narratives of superiority. You see what I'm saying? They're superior over black men.
They do what we want to say. We tear our men down and then wonder why they don't make good husbands and fathers. Mothers destroy sons that can never be repaired.
Salute the black men.
Started with mama issues, afraid to question anything that was that bitch in you.
Grown-ass men, we letting this shit continue. Adolescent feminine ways, why men offend you. Mama boy, she love thugs, her secret lover. That's why she keep these niggas inside the covers. Put the nigga aside, homie, I'm your brother. Close father saving us, having the same mother. Iron sharpens iron, we learning from one another. No jealousy or envy, going through life struggles. You told your mama you was outside, wanted to hang. Now you wearing colors and just joined the gang. No money, so the OGs taught you how to slang. Jackers rolled up and all you heard was bang. On the side of the curb, leaking out your brains. Quiet women sing, single mamas once again. Black men, we gotta change. Salute the black men. We number one if you talking about top 10. I salute the black men. Child support kids don't belong to him. I salute the black men. She lied on you and sent you to the pen. I salute the black men. Dealing with the pressure and oppressor getting lesser cause we deserve the best of.